Okay, before we get into the story part of this, we need to lay some groundwork, which is my mom was a boy mom before I was even born. Meaning, she's always very competitive, always ready to have fun, always really to engage in new and exciting things, which I think is tenets of a boy mom. Not to say that girls' mom aren't, but just some tenets of a boy mom. So, when I was a kid, my mom would pull out all the stops for my birthday, like anything you can think of for my birthday. Like so. A lot of times she would be the clown for my birthday. She would, go and get magic tricks and invest in learning and like simple magic tricks and dress up like the clown and entertain the kids. And we had ponies and everything from her birthday. And I had a lot of cousins, and I have a half brother and sister. And so almost every weekend, I was with my mom. We would have some combination of other kids with us, and it would just be like a real big thing, even on the weekends at my house. So on my 10th birthday, though, she said we're going just you and me, and no other kids are coming. And I said, we're not gonna have no other kids. She was like, no, we're just going you and me. And I said, what are we gonna do? And she said, we're gonna go to Disneyland. Disneyland is not that far away from where we live, which at the time I think was Burbank, California. So Disneyland, California, or Anaheim, California, from Burbank, California. That's where we're going. So she said, "Yeah, we're going to Disneyland," and I'm like, "Okay, well, we go to." My mom was amazing, and or is amazing. We go to Disneyland all the time. What's the big thing about going to Disneyland? I mean, it's still Disneyland, but usually my mom does it bigger on just casual days. So I was like, "What's the deal about Disneyland?" And she said, "Well, we are going to spend the night at Disneyland, and it's just going to be you and me." And we're gonna get a hotel, and then we're gonna go to Disneyland and be at Disneyland all day and chill at the hotel. And I was like, "Oh my God, it's gonna be you and me at Disneyland." And she said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, cool, let's do it." So the story really starts the night before we clock in the night before my birthday. We check in the hotel, and then we go out to dinner. Now I don't remember what we had for dinner. I don't remember what type of restaurant it was, but I remember for dessert, there was a coffee liqueur, almost like a lava cake. I remember it being chocolate. Chocolate, coffee, liqueur. And I was like, to the waitress, I was like, does this have alcohol in it? And she said, yeah. And I look at my mom, and she says, hey, man, 10 years old. Hey, man, it's your birthday. You can have some. And I eat it. And I'm not like drunk or anything, but like I feel like from the coffee and the liqueur, and as an adult, I'm realizing that I really like chocolate because I can feel all of like the effects of chocolate, like the stimulating effects that they talk about in chocolate. I could feel those things. So that was a potent cocktail for a 10-year-old Peter Pandy, and I was lit. I was wired. I was all the things, and it's like it's her birthday, and I'm with my mom, and everything's gonna be great. And then she, after we leave the restaurant, she says, maybe we should go to Disneyland tonight. And as a kid, we didn't have a lot of money, so I was very money conscious. And she's like, I was like, Disneyland tonight? We got enough money for that? Because we got the hotel and we're going tomorrow, and I know we got tickets. So if we go tonight, does that mean that we're not going tomorrow? And she's like, no, 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 no. Let me try something. So she said, you just be quiet, and I'm gonna go, and I'm going to talk to some people as Disneyland is closing. Because remember, it's already nighttime. We already had dinner. Disneyland was closing. So she starts going up to people and says, hey, can I get your ticket stubs? Can I get your ticket stubs? Can I get your ticket stubs? It doesn't take long. Maybe two, three people. She gets her ticket stubs, two of them, and then we go to the gate, and Disneyland's closing, and she says, "Hey, I got these ticket stubs. We just came out of there. He left something," pointed at me. He left something in there. We gotta go get it or something. They let us into Disneyland. We broke into Disneyland the day before my birthday. We were actually gonna go to Disneyland, and I'm just like, this is the best thing ever. This is the best thing I've ever done in my life. And we only got an hour or two, so it's exciting that we did this. And then we get to Splash Mountain, and I'm really like kind of scary of things at that age. And she's like, "Let's go on Splash Mountain," and I say, "I don't want to go." And she says, "Okay, well, you can stay here." Remember, boy, mom, you can stay here. I'm gonna go on Splash Mountain. So I go. She goes on Splash Mountain, and this is a part of the story. I mean, we've talked about this story a little bit, but I don't think I've ever told this part of the story. Um, I'm sitting there waiting for her to go on Splash Mountain because it's still a line, even though it's late. Waiting for her to go on Splash Mountain so she come back, and I'm sitting there, I'm crying because it was the best thing that ever happened, and I'm not like really mad at her because I was scared, like, and it makes sense for her to go on Splash Mountain, but I am still sad. I think a little bit that she left, and a little bit with myself for not being braver to go on Splash Mountain. And so some people come up and they're like, "Oh man, are you lost?" I was like, "No, I'm waiting for my mom," but I'm still crying. And they're like, "Well, we'll take you to Lost and Found." I said, "What?" And so I ran from those people and I hid until they had gone. And then I came back out and waited for my mom like nothing happened. Okay. So she goes on Splash Mountain and then she comes back and we go back to the hotel and we go to sleep. And then we wake up in the morning and we go to Disneyland. And then my mom is all about waiting at the castle. She's like, "Hey, we have to chill at the castle." And I'm like, "Why do we have to chill at the castle?" She's like, "Because we do. We have to chill at the castle." And we're not chilling that long. We're chilling like maybe 40 minutes, but you're a kid at Disneyland and you want me to just chill somewhere for 40 minutes and there's everything to see and everything to do. And she's like, yeah, this is what we need to be doing. We need to just sit here at the castle at the front, like after Main Street at the front of Disneyland. And she won't tell me why. I don't remember knowing why, but she's just kind of like real cool and real cool. And then all of a sudden, in the distance, you hear like, "Clow, clow, 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 clow." It's Knights. Knights is coming. And in between the Knights is Merlin. Merlin and the Knights is coming. And I don't know if you've been to Disneyland, the one in California, but there is the Sword and the Stone there. And she said, the Knights, Merlin comes and says, "Who here shall be the one to attempt to pull the sword out of the stone?" And my mom says, "We've been here for 40 minutes. And my mom is a very petite woman, but she is a very big personality. And she was just like, "Nah, it's my son. My son is the one to pull the sword out of the stone. It's definitely him." So, um, so I got to pull the sword out of the stone on my birthday. And I don't even know how she knew that. Like, there was no internet like there is now. I mean, maybe there was little hints and peaks of internet when I was 10. I don't know. But she knew that if we waited around for Merlin, that I would get to pull the sword out of the stone. Uh, huh, she's great. That's all there is. That's the whole story. Along with pulling the sword, you don't pull the whole thing out. You pull it out for like maybe this much, but you pull it out, you're like, and then Marilyn goes like, "This is the greatest person to ever partially pull the sword out of stone in since King Arthur." And they give you like the hat, and they give you like a king's cloak, and you take a picture, and then you get to be king for a day. And everywhere you go around, I think the employees. I was looking for a list of everything you get because I don't remember, but the employees, they like salute you, and you get like a big ice cream sundae at some point, and you get like just little things. But to be a kid, to be a kid, and your mom set it up for you to be the king of the day at Disneyland is one of the best birthdays of my life. So I want to say happy birthday to, not happy birthday, no, it's not Mother's birthday. I want to say happy Mother's Day to my mom because she is the best mom in the world. And I love her so much. So I hope I hear your stories of a happy Mother's Day. That is my story of what was the best day with my mom. In childhood, I'll have other stories, but that was the best day with my mom.